Well, Tarot fam. I apologize for not producing more content over Gregtoberfest. I had a great Gregtoberfest. So that means that most of the pictures are not safe for work and not safe for most people who aren't Gregtoberfest goers. So I didn't get a lot. I'm sorry. I got all my cooking done. Everybody showed up like an hour and a half, 2 hours after I expected them. So I was panicking at one point, didn't think anybody was coming. I know I'm like a lunatic. I jumped on my good buddy Grumpy Sappers live while I was making schnitzel in my dirndl. So you can go on over to his channel and go see what I look like. There was a huge delay because I was on my phone. So it was a challenging guest. I was a challenging guest. So I think Foxy picked up my slack at the end of my Deal or No Deal gameplay, but it was really great. So it was a great weekend until Sunday. I was hanging out in my lounge chair, totally not doing anything. I declared at about noon on Sunday after I got up and I did all the cleaning. I said, I'm not doing anything. Nobody asked me to do anything. I'm not cooking. I'm not cleaning. I cleaned as much as I can. I'm not doing anything else. And then bam, I get alert after alert after alert. There's another attempt on Donald Trump. Shocking stuff here. Totally not okay. There's a pattern at this point. So we're going to be looking at some presidential assassins. I'm going all the way back to Lincoln, and we're going to have an amazing series here. So I will be right back. Consider this tinfoil conspiracy and a creep dive.
Creep dive into mystery and conspiracy and deep, dark stuff. Let's dive. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, didn't realize that intro had no bangs. Fun. So we're going to talk in this video about this is going to be like an introduction to the other videos. So I'm not sure if I'm actually going to pull cards in this one. I will. I'll pull some cards in this one. So MK Ultra was a program in the United States in 1953. And what it was, they were trying to create like the ultimate soldier, according to legend. I think with the repeated incidents that we're seeing, we got to take a look. Now, I love conspiracy. I don't go full bore conspiracy on here. I leave that to my lovely friend Alicia Wicker. But as a result of talking about conspiracy, we are going to have to bring out the box. What's in here? This is my Alicia Wicker true crime and conspiracy deck. So this is going to be right at the ready. Well, let's talk a little bit about what's the deal with MK Ultra. So MK Ultra, they're trying to create like the ultimate warrior, not professional wrestling ultimate warrior, but the ultimate warrior, one that can be controlled and programmed and suited for a purpose. Now, to be sure, this is the purpose of boot camp, whether you're in any of the branches of military or in any kind of law enforcement, those kinds of things. What they do is they tear you down and they build you back up, called GI, government issue. They try to make you into a little square. Now, I think with my habits and my OCD, I would have been great in the military. I would have loved that structure. Thought it would have been great for my daughter. She went in a different direction. But when it goes this far, it gets a little weird. So what I think we should do in this video, I hope those sedans don't show up. I really do. I think we should look at the MK Ultra program that ended in 1953, and we should see maybe if there are any outgrowths from it. What do you say? You game? Let's do this. So, MK Ultra, 1953, it was discontinued. They utilized tactics such as in hugs, including LSD. I did say that on here, to change perspective, to open the doors of perception, if you will. Chemical compounds were used with and without the subject's consent and notification. They didn't know in some cases. Electroshock therapy, hypnosis, sensory deprivation, isolation, verbal and abuse. They would use all of these tactics. So, maybe they use some. They did choose from column A, column B. I don't know. The MK is an arbitrary prefix that stands for Office of Technical Science. That is the prefix on there. So, the ultra was just to make the ultra warrior. So, it was preceded by a project called Project Artichoke. I'm going to do a little bit more research on that before we talk about it, but it was a program that included US and Canadian citizens without their knowledge. So that's a little dicey too. So we're going to put this on the side. Let's take a look. And as I said, I'm going to have my Alicia Wicker Conspiracy and True Crime deck unsplit because I have the original, I have the expansion pack, and I have the true crime and conspiracy mixed in together. But we're going to keep it light, and we're going to use the mystical medleys, have some fun with that. So I will say this. I know Northy Tarot accurately predicted that there was going to be a second or an assassination attempt on a golf course. So kudos to her, applaud to her. I know that I have been saying there's going to be more events. Also, I believe Alicia, my good friend Alicia Wicker, I believe she has been saying there's going to be more events. And just to let you know, we are going to be live this Friday. So you can go check it out. You can go to my channel or her channel and you will see it. We'll have Dueling Tarot back up and running, and we're going to have a good time with you guys. We're going to spend as much time as we can to get all your crazy Dueling Tarot requests in. Also, I'm having a fall sale. So I have a discounted hour and a half reading for $155. So that's actually, a pretty crazy price for what I do in an hour and a half. So if you'd like to get a reading from me, a private reading, you can go to the about section of my YouTube page and you will find a link there. You'll also find a link to my digital academy, which I'm still working on my one-on-one class. I'm sorry, guys. Gregtoberfest just got in the way. 8 minutes in, I'm losing people. Let's get going on a reading.
Creep dive into.
Let's take a look. Pulling up the card view. Wrong buttons. Things are happening. Button. Who's got the button? Who knows what that means? All right. So let's talk about MK Ultra. Did it die a natural death? Did it die a natural death? Or is there something more there? As always, like, share, and subscribe, guys. Get in there. We're doing all conspiracy stuff this whole week. Scratch that itch. It did not die a natural death. This is an end and a beginning. Olga knows. So this is an end and a beginning. We are cutting it off and starting it over again. Four of Cups, no longer in the planning stages. Now they've refined the methods. What is under the surface? Under the surface is to protect the program. Over here, something blew the program up. Had some issues with that program. So in my opinion, my psychic opinion, they had to trim the fat here. There were too many people who knew too many things. And that was this. There's a lot of infighting. Prior to, what did I say, 1953. A lot of infighting in this department, specifically about the way that they were implementing the information or implanting the information. Really, there was a lot of stuff about wives, girlfriends, mothers, children. Really, a very soft element there. They went for manipulating that emotional side of the male soldier. So there was something about the tearing apart of their emotional structures. There was concern about how that would affect them in the future. And that it would emotionally dysregulate them, not to be restored. That was one of the concerns, was that they would not be able to be re-entered into polite society, regular society. So that would be certainly a concern. So the justice card in reverse is that the ends did not justify the means here. The way that they were, the fallout, it's the fallout of this program and the fallout of how these individuals were programmed. I'm sorry if I'm using the word program a lot, but how they were programmed is problematic because they're just, it's kind of like wasted material. Like if we had, gee, I wonder if we had like a whole bunch of billions of dollars or millions of dollars worth of equipment in a desert somewhere on the other side of the world that we just decided to up and leave them there. Even though, that whole Afghanistan thing, I was told on good account from a few military people that I know that is more costly to move them, but they should have blown them up. They should have left that stuff there. So let me grab a sip of this. I never drink soda, but we had this delicious Sprite in a cooler when I was cleaning out the cooler, and I'm having it now. Big old can of liquid sugar. Um, so the way that they were treating the GI, the equipment, human equipment GI, this was a big deal. There was one in particular individual that really went kind of berserk, and it was alarming to them. There was something with this individual, it's almost like they had, like, a stroke and, their nose was bleeding, and, but it was a longer process. There was something really, really, they tickled something, and it wasn't with the electrical impulses, it wasn't that. It was the psychological and the psychic part of it. So, to be sure, the, remote viewing program is akin, I'm sorry, I was kicking over a notebook, is akin to this program. It was part of our defense, um, th and our remote view program has some sketchy stuff that went on in there. So just so you know, there's some sketchy stuff that went on there too. So this, it just, they really were there was one in particular that they really, he was super damaged, and it was alarming at how long the actual ending took, but how quick it was to get there. It was like they just did one thing, and this young man all of a sudden, like, snapped, and everything kind of broke, and, like, he was leaking the, hydraulic fluid. Like, I'm just gonna call it hydraulic fluid. So, ending this particular program and removing a couple of individuals, it feels like there were 3 individuals, not a couple, but 3 individuals that needed to be taken out of that organization, maybe plugged someplace else. Just because there was a little mangale about them. I hate to say that, little mangale, but removal of them relieved the pressure from up top. It wasn't even, there were people that had like certain issue morality wise with it, but there were other people that were up top that were like, yeah, we're not going to have this kind of collateral damage because we want to do this on a large scale. We want to do this as part of the boot camp training. We want to have every soldier be a part of this. Very hive mind kind of concept. Um, and there was some leaning into telepathy, removing the radios, those kinds of things, which is wild. So the hopes and fears, the hope is here that we're five of pentacles. We're outside of the equation now. We are outside of the organization. We are functioning not within the Defense Department or within the actual government structures that we have, but we're doing something else. We take this dysregulated individual who is not maybe not giving consent, and we find those that want to be elite warriors and we put them in place. I think this is how the program changes. We get elite warriors that are signing up for it. So let's take a look at some conspiracy cards. So I'll give Alicia a little plug here. Where's my Alicia plug? There we go. Big deck energy. I got to get you guys some better video value here. So, do we still have this program going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Only have part of the deck on the table right now. The rest of the deck is still in my wiggly box. This wiggly box. Strategy. Strategy is our first card. Then we have weather manipulation. Now I'm going to say, so even though Alicia's cards are very specific, I still take some liberties with this. Weather manipulation can be emotional manipulation. We're manipulating their emotions. We're giving them something to do, or we're taking something out. Microchip under the surface. Healing, fixing that program, fixing the program, fixing some things. Polar shift. So again, even though polar shift has to do with the planet, it has to do with environmental stuff, electromagnetic changes on the planet, it can have to do with having a polar shift in your personality. So maybe you're one person 1 minute, one person another minute. Maybe you're having these emotions 1 minute, and maybe you're not having any emotions the next minute. We're going to see that when we talk about Routh, the guy from this weekend. So, let's talk about that's the outcome. Let's see what's going on, because that can be birth. And we're a little bit blurry. Are we back? We're back. So what I mean by this also being birth, this can be the conception of what we want to do. We're putting all of the parts together. If we have this manipulate, we have polar shift, weather manipulation, both of these being possible emotional manipulation, plus a microchip under the surface. It's the story's writing itself, guys. This part could be the perfect combination of items that we need to do this, to make inside jobs for us. Propaganda. What else do we have? Cards don't lie. Cards don't lie, kids. Taking 2 more. Actually, I'm not going to take 2 more. I'm going to take a stack more. I'm going to take, we're going to have thing 1 and thing 2 here. I'm going to travel. Clean up. Egoism. Family dynasty. So we've got what's going on here. Remember, this is our outcome. This is our outcome. They're keeping it in the family. They're trying to maintain those deep roots. If you know what I'm talking about, deep roots, deep roots. Trying to keep it in the family here, trying to maintain what has been set for the rulership here in the United States of America. So, how they see themselves is moving toward a common goal. They are trying to move in unison, trying to get these individuals up to speed. That is going to help them. If we ever talk about stormtroopers, like we're really close on this one. They are cleaning up the mess. This is the way. This item is the way. This is what they want to do. They want to flip it so that you and I feel happy when we're supposed to feel happy. When we want to be agitated, when they want us to be agitated, they're going to flip it. When you get mad about something, they're going to flip it. They're going to make you feel better. They don't need to go up in the sky and make those nice, pretty streaks. They're going to do this right here. It's going to be right here, right here, right here in your hand. And you're going to be able to make phone calls, and you're going to be able to play games, and you're going to be able to pay for your latte with it. So this is what's going on. This is what we're building. We're building this up. So it is no longer, in my opinion, psychic opinion for entertainment purposes only, restricted to those soldiers that go in there and sign up for it. The main idea is that eventually this becomes a much bigger program. They want the success of these individuals who say, I'm exceptional. I'm the best of the best of the best, the best of the best, sir. I want to sign up for it. Ship me. Let me be your puppet. I'll do what you want. But the main idea is that they want this to go out en masse. They want everyone to have this. So good, clean fun. Good, clean fun. You don't have to worry about anything. Just let us take care of it all. You own nothing, and be happy because you have a chip in your head. So, guys, we are going to move on from this. So, wrap this reading up. I think the MK Ultra, and I it's probably going to get me in trouble. I am probably going to get in trouble for this. These videos are probably going to get marked. MK Ultra, the program has been changed. They are now, since the closure of it in 1953, they are have been looking for soldiers that are signing up for this, the ones that are interested in being an ultimate warrior, not WWF, but Ultimate Warrior was pretty awesome. They were looking for people that would do this. Through the success of that program, these are the individuals that are going to do their bidding. They're trying to build a robotic, not cloned, but robotic stormtrooper kind of level of care for us. But the idea is that they want to put this in everybody. If they can take care of an army, they can take care of you and me, and we won't care about anything in the world. We're not going to be looking for a new puppy. We're not going to be looking for extra firewood. We're going to be just doing everything that they want. So, and when time for lights out, they flip a switch and it's lights out. So that's what I see. That's what I'm talking about. We're going to come back and we're going to talk about the first presidential assassination happened here in the United States, 1965. President Abraham Lincoln shot by John Wilkes Booth. Let's talk about it in the next one. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in a bit.